Hello, and thank you so much for serving on this Sunday, January 19th, 2025. I'm going to start with a quick general knowledge thing before I go through the lesson plans. Our verses of the month are always posted in the classroom. And so if you look on your dry erase board or somewhere on the wall in the classroom, you're going to see it posted. And it does have motions listed with it this month. So when you're doing that Believe activity where you're going over the memory verse together, that is a good place to bring the kids' attention to. All right, so I'm going to start with our second and third grade and fourth and fifth grade lesson plan. I did bump the second and third graders up to the older small group version of the lesson plan after Christmas, since they're a little bit older now. The cover sheet has our story that will be taught in large group, Nicodemus, that will be supported during the activities in small group, as well as the monthly memory verse, the bright idea for this week, and the he, we, and me questions that will be set during large group. And the back of that cover sheet just has some general leader training that's just good for any week that you're in here with kids, as well as it goes over the part of the discipleship discussion that will support the story that we are doing in large group. So I'm not going to go through every piece because it is all on the electronic version of the lesson plan, so you can just go into the Google Drive that Kristen sends you to be able to find the copy of the lesson plan. But the first thing you're going to do at 10 o'clock is one teacher should teach the Belong activity. It's called Night Spy. You do not need any materials for that. And then you're going to do your dwelling place believe activity immediately following large group. And for that, you're going to need boxes. You're going to need printable pages, which is kind of parts of the memory verse. And it says glue stick, but I figured tape would be easier. You only need 8 boxes, but both groups have like 11 or 12 boxes each because I thought they could have fun with building their tower and following the lesson plan of how to build that memory verse with that. And so that's for both second and third grade as well as fourth and fifth grade. Then you're going to save discipleship discussion for last, and you're going to jump into the become activity, which is you can't earn it. It does need a whiteboard and dry erase markers, which is already set up downstairs, but fourth and fifth graders, if you go upstairs, you're going to need the mini dry erase boards to take upstairs with you because there's not a dry erase board in that classroom. Then small group wrap up, which you'll need your take home sheets to be able to choose your challenge when you do that. And then end it with discipleship discussion. And all of this, the details of it are in your electronic copy of your lesson plan, which you can find on the Google Drive. All right, so for our kindergarten and first grader small group, you have the same cover sheet, which has all that general information that's good to have for the month. And following that is your roadmap for the week. From 10 to 10:10, you're going to do the old and new activity for your Belong activity. I did not run enough copies for every kid to have one. It does say every kid should have one of those pictures taped on them. So what I would recommend is instead, they're going to hold it. We don't have any tape in here. And I would have like half the group do it the first time and the other half do the group the second time. If there's still other kids, maybe have them partner up or do a third round of it. And then after large group, you're going to do Bible verse bake, which there are printables for that. And then the next one, I accidentally X'd out the one that we are doing. We are not doing global prayers. We're doing the other activity. So I'm going to flip to it so you can see it. It is Good News Telephone. And it does not require any supplies. So you're going to do that, followed by the small group wrap up. And I'm going to go back to the roadmap so you can see it. Followed by small group wrap up, which they will need to see their take home sheet for that. And then discipleship discussion following that. And now I'm going to move into what the large group is doing this week with the story of Nicodemus. Okay, so for our large group, I am going to use the Tech Helpers copy so that you could all see where the slides are. I do recommend that for the Tech Helper that it be somebody who is assigned to the kindergarten and first grade small group and is not teaching the large group because you'll already be in the room, so it's easier for you to press play on that video countdown at 10:13 because not everyone might be fully seated and ready to go at that point. So it's just good for someone who's already in this classroom to do this job. All right, so here is how large group is going to work. Whoever is the tech helper will start slide number 2, which it is set up over here. You can see slide number 2 is our video countdown. So you're going to double click on that and start that countdown video and do your welcome. So your welcome activity. This activity requires baby bottles and it says milk or juice. We're using water. Because I just think it could be a little too crazy with milk or juice. So we're just going to do water instead. I don't have the baby bottles here today because they are arriving from Amazon later today. So I'll have them out here by Sunday. And so you're going to do that for the first 8 minutes. The timing is listed on the page as well. So if you are teaching small group, you can keep an eye on the clock which I've realized the large clock by the door is actually off. So your cell phone or a watch is going to be a better guide. But the slides are listed out for whoever is doing the slides. Slide 3 is the intro video, and then you're going to set the he, we, me questions, which is on slide 4. The next part is find it in the Bible, which you have 2 minutes to do. So it's very, very quick. So the two big things to point out is, where does this week's story fall in God's big story? Obviously, we are leading up to redemption. Jesus is here. He is ministering, but he has not died on the cross yet. And you're going to guide the kids to John 3, 1 through 21. We are really, really trying to emphasize the kids bringing their Bibles with them. We're not currently doing Bible prizes, but they should be having them with them at class, because it's just a great way for them to put their eyes on the Word. So if they have the Bible with them, I encourage them to open it up and to read as they're hearing this presented to them this morning. Following that is the story. I'm going to flip to that. This is the longest part. Typically, one teacher does those first two parts, and then the second teacher does the entire Bible teaching, which takes about 10 minutes from 10:25 to 10:35, and then it jumps back to the first teacher again. So beginning the story, you're going to pray first and then start going through the story. We're going to have there in my other vehicle, I'll have them here on Sunday, hi, my name is type stickers, because you're going to need a Jesus, and you're also going to need a Jesus. So you're going to pick two kids out to act out those two parts. We're not going to do costumes. That felt like too much. There's two teaching slides that go with it. You're also going to need a baby. I brought my little Jesus from home, but I realized when I thought about the story of Nicodemus that was probably not going to be super appropriate. So instead, we borrowed a baby from the younger classroom. You also have a flashlight that you're going to need. So the baby and the flashlight are there and ready to be used. And this is where the story continues. And at the end, you're going to point to Jesus before the story ends. And then the first teacher is going to jump back in to do review. At this point, if you are on track and it is 10:35, I would love for you to do both of these parts. If you are behind on time, then you're going to need to skip one of the two. There is a Bible review video. There are review questions. Both are really, really great ways to reinforce the story with kids. The review video is fun. The kids seem to really enjoy it. The questions are also interactive and fun and checks what they were listening to in the story. So I really hope that you have time to do both, but if not, it is teacher choice. You decide if you want to show that video or go through the questions. They both will take about the same amount of time. You have 8 minutes here. So you can cut it shorter if you need to save time from somewhere else. And then the final 5 minutes are spent on this last page. That same first teacher is going to go through all these things. You're going to answer the he and the we question, go through what the bright idea is for this week, and then you are going to pray. So we're going to skip this part at the beginning. We're going to pray together, and then we're going to dismiss our 4th and 5th graders. I am encouraging 4th and 5th graders to go upstairs because that room is just a really nice, cozy spot for them. I understand if they don't go because it is cold. But if we want to create kind of a plan that allows them to have a couple of extra minutes. So after we pray, we dismiss those 4th and 5th graders, whether they go upstairs or not. They're going to exit. And then we are going to jump into the memory verse at that point. So we're going to read it together and then watch the first video, and then we're going to dismiss the remainder of the kids. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for serving on Sunday. Please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions or concerns or ideas that you have. You can find me on, if you don't already have my phone number, which hopefully you do, but if you don't, you can reach me on Planning Center. You can find my phone number, call me, text me, ask me in person. I'm looking forward to you guys serving this Sunday, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great week. Thanks.